you, Brother Max. Thank you very much. Brother Mac, is there anything you want to say before we try to run one of these videos? And again, when I tried it earlier, the video ran fine over Zoom, but I'm not sure if the sound works. So I'm going to ask again if the video comes on and you see it start moving, and it'll look like an iPhone screen. And if you don't hear any sound, if someone in the chat window will let me know, I'd appreciate it. Brother Mac, anything you want to share beforehand?
Sure. Just to explain the video, I think the first video is going to be talking about creating a Facebook fan page. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that the one you? Okay. So the basic thing is a fan page is some of the leaders in the church, or some of our churches even have personal profiles as their fan page, and that's cool, but it's not going to have the same result as what this video will get you, in the sense of creating a fan page and the administrative things, and then tracking and following up with people. Fan pages are made to do exactly what we're talking about doing, with connecting with people over line for an organization or a church. So yeah, that's good for now.
Okay. All righty. Let's see if I can get that going here.
Okay, watch how fast this is. This is, we're going to pull up Facebook on our phone. And, all right, you could obviously stop the scroll. And if you look near the home button down at the bottom, the home button's down here. And then if you look near the video button, and then there's a marketplace button, and the next button down at the bottom is going to be your fan page. And so that's a little flag. So you want to press create right there. And as you press create, you're just going to get started. The best thing you can do is type in church, Church of God of, well, let's just stop at Church of God. So Church of God, and I would probably do Assemblies of God. Even though we're not Assembly of God, people looking for that, we want to be in those categories. So I'm going to click done and press next. What do you want to name this page? Okay, so we want to name this page COGOP, Patterson. How about let's name it Tri-City, because that would fit. Tri-City, COGOP. Cool. Next, do you want to add an address? And for the sake of time, I'm just going to say don't add an address and press next. And then we're going to add a picture. So let's just close this down real quick. And I'm going to pull up my web browser, show you how fast this is, guys. So I've searched already for a cross image, and I kind of like that one right there. So let's click on that one. You're gonna click on that one and press add to photos. So when you go back to your Facebook, there, you can do that ahead of time. Obviously, you may have something, and here's your photos, and here's everything you have, but at the top you're gonna have a little cross there, and you put it exactly where you want it. Let's say that you click the use button, and there we are. And I think that's pretty good. You press done. So there you are. You have officially created you've created a space there, a fan page. COGOP Tri-City, add a profile picture, add a cover photo. You can do all of that stuff. These are things you want to start inviting friends. And so just gonna, we can go through it, add some people there, which I'm not gonna do, but just for the sake of time, I'm gonna add my wife. I'm gonna add TJ. He's working, so I know he won't do anything. And you press send invites, and you are officially live. And so that's about it. That's how you create a fan page. There you go, guys.
Yeah. I just want you to know, Facebook a few years ago, and I know people are still doing it, but Facebook a few years ago put out a blanket statement. If you use your personal Facebook for business, that's fine. But if you use a personal profile as a church, they're going to delete. If and when they kind of look at your profile for any reason and say that I've used the Mission Church and I just set it up as a regular profile, Facebook eventually is going to delete all my content, all my contacts, and so if I have any information worth keeping there, I will in fact lose that. And so outside of that, I mean, that's all, you know.
Okay. Yeah, and just to reiterate what he saying, if you're using your personal Facebook page to post things from your church, they will eventually stop that. They are wanting organizations to move to the pages. So that's a great way to get that set up. Okay, and we'll go ahead, and the second video will be, once you have your page set up, how do you live stream? How do you go Facebook Live? And for those of you that are not having services and you want to provide a devotional, I saw a pastor in Georgia this past week that was at his home. His wife just sang a cappella and sang a song, and I'm sure people were singing along with them. And then he shared about a 20-minute Bible study, sermon type setting. And I know Brother Jay and Sister Suzanne have been doing that for the Monticello New Life Church the last 2 nights. And so it's just a way for them to continue to hear from their pastor. So I'm going to begin that video. And if you're having any problems, some reason it doesn't come up, someone please let me know.
Okay, so the next thing that's really important for you to do is to download this app. That's the very last app on this screen. It says Facebook Pages or Facebook page. If you go to your App Store, and it's the same thing on Google, and you type in, if you look at the top on the search area, it says Facebook Pages. You can even just type in page or pages, and it will eventually lead you to this Facebook page manager. It looks like a flag. And so when you press open on that, it's gonna ask you a question. Do you want to, if it doesn't give you, if it asks you for your Facebook login, then you can do that, or you can just close it down and reopen it, and it'll automatically link to your Facebook account. So when it does that, the best thing to do is continue as whoever it is that you are. Obviously, I'm Mac, and so I've already done that, and so I'm going to press open, and so it takes me to my page, and this is the page I want to show you guys real quick. Last night we did a Facebook Live video, and we had a great response from it, even though we had some sound issues setting up a different system. We had 677 views total, and that means people that clicked on it, or they stopped and listened to it for more than 3 seconds. And there's 23 shares and 272 comments. And so that was pretty good for us. So if you want to go live, it's really just this simple. You press that publish, see that where it says publish video, event, promote, right in the center of the screen. If you click the word publish, it's going to say something. And so you want to say the Mission Church, or whatever your church. You don't have to say, you can say anything, going live. And obviously I'm not the one that does that. So when you do that, you want to go down to the middle of the screen where it says add a post now, and they have this little green thing there. Click on that little green thing. It's going to give you some options, and live video is the way to go. Now when you click on that live video, this is going to be embarrassing, but let me click on that live video. Oh, there I am. So when you start live, you don't use any of these masks to go live with your church, but if you're wanting to do something with your church, like a Bible study or whatever, and just want to be a talking head, this is the way to do it. You just press live, and you are broadcasting to whoever is on your fan page. You'll show up in news feeds and all kinds of things. So that's really it right there.
Brother Mac, what would you like to add there? Do you want to go to your slides?
Yeah, I'd like to add a couple things about Facebook Live. And first of all, I'd like to say that doing a service over live, I know that's what we do, but I'd like to say that we've spent, in the last 5 years, we've probably spent $20,000 on the ability to do that. Probably $10,000 on finding out what didn't work with us or work for us, and then another $10,000 on just equipment and things that we have kept and things that we have that works for us. And saying that, live service is, it's hard. It takes a lot to do it. But I will tell you this: there's one pastor that everybody's aware of, and he's kind of the it pastor right now, which is Stephen Furtick. Stephen Furtick is the most listened to pastor in America right now, even above T.D. Jakes and above Joel Osteen, because Stephen Furtick produces 5-minute clips that are super shareable. People can take those clips, share them with their friends, and people will share them to their friends. And just to say that, hey, I'm going to set up a service, or I'm going to set up a thing, and that's just going to go out there, and just people are going to share that, and they're going to sit and listen to me speak for, like I preach for an hour, easy. And we have people that listen to the whole thing, but those are people who are in our church that are either offshore, they're on a tugboat somewhere, or they're out of town, or they attend our church only through the online campus, if you will, whatever you would like to call that. But the best thing I feel like that we can do is take moments, and I encourage you pastors to do that, because every one of us can do that. We can take an idea, we can make a clip, just like I showed you to, and we will put that video in a different place, showing you how to do it. I know it was kind of hard to see, but there are easy ways to get the word out. You can do that once a day, or you can do that, and I'm going to give you some tips on doing that. But the idea of just putting a camera up and having service, and that just magically working, that's kind of it's a harder thing to do than just, than that. These people that you see doing that, they have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cameras, and they don't mind spending it. But it's not just as easy as posting a video of your whole service, if that makes sense.
Right, and I think it's important we remember that what we're sharing with you tonight is for this emergency situation. That if you want to stay in contact with your people, this is an easy way to do so. But we certainly would not recommend this as a permanent way to do that. There's some things you could do that are very inexpensive. You don't have to spend $20,000, but if you want to begin live streaming in the future. But this is just a way you can do this quickly if you decide not to have service. And so that's why we wanted to make that available to you now. And again, it is on our website. You'll get the link for that in the email you'll receive this evening. Brother Mac, you want to look at those slides now?
Yeah. If you can pull up the first one. If not, I'll just go through them. In fact, I'll start while you're working on that, if that's okay.
It should be up now.
The first I have, there it is. I have a couple tips for you guys that probably would help go a long way as far as for making a video like we're doing here on Zoom to stay connected with your people. And there's two ways to do that. Either you can do that in a private setting, in a private group, or a group message, or you can do that on a public fan page. Either way is good. And so the first tip is brighter is better. And that's just the fact of it. Like right now, and in my video that I'm doing this Zoom, I have two separate lights pointing at me, and then I have the lights in the room. And so for live video, make sure you have enough light. The real reason why that is because the camera that I'm using right now is a small Apple iPhone camera. It's not a huge sensor. It needs a lot of light to work. And so if your video is dark, and you push all of your parameters in your phone to make it work, it's going to get grainy and nasty. Brighter is always better. Number two, record. Be aware of your space. And so tonight, like behind me, I've got this amplifier and a bunch of wires and things that I came. So I covered all of that up so that I could not be embarrassed about it. But a lot of times we're recording in a space that we're used to, and so we don't think about it. So my advice to you is to record yourself in the space that you're in, with the phone and with the equipment that you're going to use. And then afterwards, watch the video. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you're so hard on yourself, you'll never show the video. However, you got to ask yourself a couple questions. Was the microphone picking up my breathing? Was the microphone that I was using picking up my breathing? Whether that was the headphone microphone or Apple EarPods or AirPods, whatever you call them, was the noise from if whatever you press record on your camera, that's what Facebook is going to show. So was the background okay? Was there, folded clothes or unfolded clothes in the background? Was the TV off? And that's always a weird thing for me, for somebody to make a video and then I can hear like CNN or Fox News in the background, which we're probably all watching, or even the Weather Channel. Tip number 3 is going to be interesting, but if you can slide over there. Tip number 3, I'm just going to call nose hairs. Basically, if your camera, if you take that video and you can tell whether you didn't or did trim your nose hairs, then the camera's in the wrong position. The camera should be roughly 20 to 35 degrees above your eyes, and it should be pointing down at you if you're doing a video like this. That's not always possible if you're doing it on a laptop. Your laptop sits on the desk in front of you and then it points up at you. Just remember, that's not image is not the end all say all, but if you wouldn't watch the video, people aren't going to watch the video. Number 4, Jesus is king, but audio is queen when it comes to online. If you have really great quality video and your audio quality is terrible, people are not going to watch your video, and it's going to detract from what you're trying to do. It's going to take away from, people are going to be frustrated with the fact that the audio is so bad and they hearing Sean Hannity in the background rather than hearing your message. And so if Jesus is king, then audio, his voice speaking as queen. Good audio will always save video quality that's okay or bad every time, but bad audio will destroy the best quality video in any situation. Number 5 on there, if you can slide over for me, Brother Stone, is be confident, deliberate, intentional, and most of all, be authentic. Be who you are. None of us are TD Jakes. None of us are. We're just whoever we are. And really, you said it earlier, our people need to hear from us. They need their pastor to reassure them. Be intentional, and most of all, be positive. If you can't be positive, don't be authentic, then get someone else to make the video for you. That's really important. Like, be positive, because if you're trying to encourage people, they're very well aware. If you're holding your camera, as a lot of us are going to do, if you look on Amazon, there's these camera holders that will sit on top of a mic stand or sit on top of or they'll extend, and they're like $20, and you can put your phone into them and talk directly into them. They're great. However, if you're holding your camera, consider going into your car. I did a video like that on the Mission Church just a couple of days. The lighting is always great in your car because you have complete surround lighting in every window that's not tinted, obviously, and the audio is really good because it kind of gives you a studio like sound. That's why a lot of people, if they're on the road or they're traveling or whatever, they'll rent a car and do a Facebook Live or a talking head video in their car. If someone is holding the camera for you, again, make sure that they're 6 feet away from you, as we want to practice social distancing, but also that they are above you and not under you. That stuff's really important. We know that none of this is we know that none of these tips are going to make a whole lot of difference, but it will be the difference between people connecting with you, watching your video from the beginning to the end, or just kind of seeing it and being like, just awkwardness of it. And so I know you had told me earlier you wanted me to share just for a moment about why I'm really into these things. I kind of study these things. And one of the reasons why is because the majority of our church at the Mission Church has come through Facebook. And so we're really, really good for a moment like this where we connect just over social media. It doesn't take the place of our service. We have a total Pentecostal, old-fashioned service. But at the same time, we use Facebook as a way to every day, in one way or another, connect with people either in private groups We have a prayer group that people can go in with confidence that only people who attend our church are in, and just pray for one another. And so we use all of these things. This video is no different. People can hear my voice, reassure them that God is with them. It's going to be okay. This is a tremendous blessing for us at our church to be able to do this. It's a great tool for us, and we have advantaged from this. And most of our videos, with the exception of what we do just in service, most of our videos is done with cell phones and stuff just like this. And so be confident, be intentional about what you're doing. I know you guys are all Pentecostal and just completely led by the Spirit, but at the same time, write something down, make a little list, don't ramble, be intentional, and be who you are. And God is going to use that. And so that's my tips. 6 tips for the day.
All right. You had I was trying to find the little picture. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Just so they could have an idea of where we're at. Let's see, here it is. And I'm going to share that real quick. Excuse me just a minute and we'll get that shared to you. Okay, can you see that picture there? Mac, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that showing? Okay,
Yeah.
what he shows
Yeah,
there is
perfect.
you see a phone that is attached to a what we would call a microphone stand. Has a little adapter. Those things, 10, 15 bucks at Amazon. Then they have a little micro to ensure their sound is good. They have a little adapter coming out from the fire plug that takes the microphones. If you have AirPods or whatever you do, if possible, it's better to use a microphone than just record from your phone's microphone, because it'll be much better. And that's basically the setup there to record. And you notice where he's got the height. I love what Daryl Cook just put in when you was talking about having it above your head. Terry said it helps hide the chin too, the double chin. So
yeah.
But anyway,
this guy, if you notice, this guy said he put out a statement. This guy's name's Brett, and I can't remember his last name, but he also mentioned to dress in layers because layers cover a multitude of sins. And this guy is real. If you look at what he's got a simple light stand there, and that is a dowel rod with duct tape. That is nothing spectacular or awesome. I mean, that's something that any of us can do, and I guarantee you his video is great.
And it looks like he's got his sermon notes there on the. Is that his sermon notes?
Yeah.
So anyway, you see how simple it is, and what we're going to do is make this available. This video tonight, we are recording this, and I'll cut the portion out that Brother Mac's doing so that you can have that as well. And we'll put that on our website, and I'll let you know when that's available. But the other 2 videos has already been shown. They are available now on the website, and so you'll be